Welcome to Security with Spirits. I'm your host, Jason, and I'm joined at the bar by
Ben,
Jonathan,
and Tony. We'll tell you what to drink while we tell you about why we drink.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's been a while since we've been in the studio, but we're back at it.
It's not because we don't like you.
We just get busy. We get busy.
Just
we
busy people.
Yeah. Nothing's going on in the world of cybersecurity, so we don't really have any excuses.
It's such a quiet time.
but we can say this is real. This isn't AI generated.
That's true. You're not going to get this quality with AI.
I've decided to deep fake myself, actually, so this isn't me. This is just an approximate simulation based on previous recordings.
All right. Fake Tony in the house. Well, should we get started with drinks? Because, every time I hear AI, I want to drink. So I went a little bit, I know, I told myself, all the past podcasts that we've done, or the most recent ones, I'm always just bringing Buffalo Trace, and I got to do something a little different. So I love the drink, the cocktail Transfusion. I think it's grape juice, ginger beer, and vodka, and I think like a twist of lime or something like that. But just a great drink to have, out on the golf course or whatever. Super refreshing, just a great drink. Well, turns out I'm too lazy to open a can of grape juice and a can of ginger beer, and I found these pre-mixed cans by Owens.
Hey.
They did it for you, except for the vodka. You have to add your own vodka, which is good because I add a lot of vodka. So I've been drinking those, trying to, cool me off in the sweltering summer heat of Florida. And they're pretty tasty. I mean, for a premix in a can, minus the vodka, not bad. So if you see some, grab some, not sponsored, and let us know what you think. Ben, what are you drinking?
So I found A&W has an ice cream sundae.
You are lying.
No, ice cream sundae A&W.
I have that in front of me right now. That's what I'm drinking tonight.
Awesome. And I'm chasing it with some scotch.
I have the sugar-free version. And
Yeah.
It tastes like chemicals on top of chemicals. in a pleasant way.
Yeah. It hits the spot. It's like, wow. It's like I'm having chocolate.
But it's like the old Scratch and Sniff stickers, like the chocolate version of that. It's It's the artificial chocolate. But again, in a very pleasant way.
That's awesome.
Okay, that's too funny. I thought I found something special.
I have to go back through and see. I think I did. While I was in Vegas, I stopped by a vending machine and there was an A&W that I've never seen before, and I bought it and I was like, that's pretty tasty. And I took a picture of it because I was like, I maybe had a drink or two, and I was like, I don't want to forget what this is. Sure enough, Ice Cream Sundae, sugar-free by A&W.
Here we are. We're so middle-aged.
I was going to say we're suckered for marketing. Clearly that worked.
Yeah.
Well, me being the odd man out, I guess I'm going to have to go get one now, because I've not seen that, nor have I tried it. But
and it
but
goes
another
well
news.
with Monkey Shoulder.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
The
So I don't
Monkey
need
Shoulder
the whole
does
monkey.
make some good whiskey.
Well, I figure I couldn't just join without something, so.
Nice. Jonathan,
We've forgotten what happens next.
Oh,
What
sorry. I
do we
do
now?
We should probably do this bi-weekly or something, just so we don't forget. Am I going to do the conference thing, the video conference, or the voice conference or whatever? Jonathan, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
I have a glass of Bushmills 10-year-old. Yeah, it's a single malt. It is on the shelf. It's now in the glass. So
Straight from the bottle?
straight from the bottle to the glass to my lips.
Nice.
And, you know, I know it's early this week, but I feel like Jason has some good stories for us.
What have you been up to, Jason?
Well, I happened to make a trip out to, I all this heat was not enough. I needed to have more heat and less humidity, so made the hike all the way out to Vegas to go to Black Hat and DEFCON and like have fun out there. It was awesome, like it always is. It was hot. It was my average walking mileage was about 13 miles a day, because Vegas isn't really easy to get around in, but yeah, lots of fun. So I've got some stories. If you want, we can share some stories from the fun world of besides Black Hat and DEFCON.
Sounds great. I am up for it.
Let me pull up my 22 slide presentation. I'm just kidding.
Now that's a slide deck I can get behind. Only 22. As long as there's a sales pitch in there somewhere.
Oh, of course. Yeah, and I gotta hit all the buzzwords.
And as long as you bolted on AI in some way, you're fantastic.
I don't spend a lot of time in the, so just for anybody who's not aware, besides conferences like very focused on technology, cybersecurity technology and stuff, Black Hat is more of like, I'm going to say the professional, like I feel like I have to wear like long pants whenever I go to Black Hat. And then DEFCON it's a lot of information, but it's very different. It's like there was a day that I think a couple days I wore shorts there, and yeah, it's very relaxed, very chill, very good place to learn as well. A lot of fun. But the Black Hat, there's a lot of vendors there. Like it's mostly vendor sponsored. So they have a big showroom floor. The first few times I went to Black Hat, I avoided the vendor area because I'm like, I don't want salespeople calling me. I don't want any of that. I'm just not going to go. But then I started going in, and they actually do offer like a lot of really good interactive sessions at people's like at vendors like display areas or whatever to try to draw a crowd in and of course sell the product. But there's a lot of good information there. So if you are out at Black Hat, don't be afraid of going into the vendor area. Just know that anytime that you pick up some swag, they're going to scan your badge, and now you're going to have thousands of emails and phone calls and everything else. So I try to avoid badge scanning just because like I know the stuff I want. I don't want to be hit up with salespeople. But I did, as I was walking by, I saw a booth that they had some like minifigs, like just different pieces, and you can just go and assemble a little minifig. And I was like, I'm peopled out.
I'm hooked.
I was like, I'm done with people. I just need to zen out for just like 5 minutes and just build Lego. So I just went over there and I just started assembling a guy, and the person came up and they're like, hey, have you heard about whatever? And I was like, no. And I don't want a sales pitch. I just want to build Lego. If you need to scan my badge for me to take this, to walk away with this, then you can just keep it. I was like, seriously, like, I just want to build. And he's like, yeah, fair enough. He's like, can I pitch to you while you're building? I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, that's fine. So we were just talking back and forth as I was building it. And whenever he was done, I was like, okay. I was like, you sound like you got a great product. I was like, it's not going to fit for us, but I was like, great product. And he was like, and you know what? I didn't mention anything about in that whole speech? AI. And I was like, you didn't. I was like, I guess that comes extra. He's like, no. He's like, we don't have any AI bolt on, anything like that. No. He's like, we don't feel like we're ready for it yet. So why should we force it on the customer? I was like, whoa. I was like, you should like put that in a big sign behind you. It's like, that will probably draw in more people than Lego.
No AI.
Because that was everything.
Wow, they admitted up front. They're like, no, we don't think we're ready for that.
Yeah.
So is that going to be like a selling point, like the way organic produce is, like all natural software, no AI?
Actually written.
Yeah. Real
and reviewed
people.
by humans.
Organically coded software. Awesome. Yeah, probably. I mean, most people there, they're like, oh, AI, like most, like people who are attending Black Hat, not the vendors, of course, they think like AI is just going to fix everything. But most vendors are like, oh, AI, you mean like machine learning, like you just rebranded it, like neat, cool. So there you go, salespeople, we're on to your games.
Oh, your shenanigans.
Yeah. Speaking of shenanigans, if you...
Is that a place you like with the mozzarella sticks?
Throw like goofy shit on the wall.
Oh, I gotta watch that movie again.
I can't help it. That line always pops in my head.
Yep.
Your shenanigans. If I hear shenanigans one more time, DEFCON, if you are unsure, like if you're so Vegas, so I honestly don't know how much B-Sides is, but Black Hat is very expensive. Get it early if you can, that way you can get discounts. But Black Hat is not a cheap ticket, despite the fact that all the vendors are there and everything. Like it's not cheap, which I think that would be a bigger selling point for like if a vendor or if vendors would like sponsor people to show up instead of like giving away socks.
Right.
DEFCON is quite a bit cheaper. I mean, you still have the expensive Vegas and everything, but you can do Vegas for cheap. I mean, there are cheap flights out to Vegas. I stayed at the Link, which was pretty close to the Las Vegas Convention Center where DEFCON was. You can get the monorail. Like the Link actually has right outside the lobby, there's an In-N-Out right there. So, I mean, you can have a double with fries and a drink for like $12. So, I mean, you could do Vegas for cheap. DEFCON would be the one. If you're interested in cybersecurity, I would say DEFCON would probably be the one where you should start, just because the concept of that is it's not just computers and software. They have villages set up that have different aspects. So if you're into like lockpicking, that's there. If you're into like I mean crafting, that's there. But I mean, if you're red team, if you're blue team, if you're into, you know, they had a maritime village, they had aviation, like just everything. Like everything is there. Any sort of aspect of security you can think of is there. And if you're trying to figure out, because I mean, people say they want to get into cybersecurity and they're like, oh, I want to get into, you know, information security or cybersecurity or whatever. And they think it's just one field that you go into. And no, it's like, it's huge. Like if you're not sure what you want, like what area you want to go to, maybe you should go out to DEFCON and start talking to people and seeing like the differences in the areas and stuff. So a lot of great information. The talks are great. Yeah. And it's very friendly. Like don't let people scare you with all the stories online of like, oh, they're hacking all your stuff and they have the wall of sheep. They do, like that still happens. But just be careful. Like they're, you know, the instruction books and stuff that they give out to you tell you how to safely get in onto the Wi-Fi. It's not as dangerous as people
just
think.
what the hacker would say.
And then and everybody there is super cool. It's like I compared it to like the first day of kindergarten. Like everybody there is just kind of dumped there. They're just there just to like learn and have fun. So everybody's friends with everybody else, and it's great. Like just talk to people and life is good. Yeah. So that's kind of the experiences in a nutshell. So if you're interested in any of those, that's what I would recommend. Black Hat is still really good for like I know they have their talks and stuff like that. Those are, and I think you have to pay for some of the training and stuff beforehand. I've never done any of the training. I always just go to the talks, and I always go to the to any of like the vendor like sessions where they put you through like simulated attacks and stuff like that. That's a lot of good. That's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that does sound fun.
One of the things that I kind of stunned me a little bit, because there were some like people treat it as a conference or as a con or as a, you know, like you see all the comic cons where people dress up and everything, and there's still that there. So there are people dressed up, you know, maybe not like kid appropriate. So I I just assumed there were kids there or anything, but got out to the villages and like there weren't a lot of kids. I'm not saying the place was crawling with kids, but I was like, there were like I saw like a father there and he brought, a couple of his kids and everything. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, no, what are you doing? But I kind of thought back to my childhood, and I grew up in like the 80s and 90s, and everything was, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? And, the random, like, this is a test of the emergency broadcast system. And just, we were scared of, unsolved mysteries. Like everything was just, we were so afraid of, we don't know what. Like everything was like, oh no, here comes a tornado. Let's crouch in the hallway. That'll save us. But I like the approach that, like DEFCON, whenever you get your hands onto things, like you're not only the fear becomes like less scary, I guess. If this is what it is, this is what it takes to do this, and you can do it. Like I was watching, like the kids were like picking locks and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if that's a great idea, but also like the dad was teaching them. He's like, because one of the things that they were doing is like, those the hooks that they have in like hotel rooms that, the like little safety latch or whatever, they had, a bunch of doors set up and they were showing how to get around those. But then after the kids they saw how easy it was, then the dad was like, okay, he's like, now this is what we do to like make sure the door is protected. And I was like, okay, so now they're learning about it. And now it's becoming less of a scary thing. And now it's not so, you're also not living in that world of ignorance of like, nobody's ever gonna break into my hotel room. You're actually preparing a little bit. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Teaching your kids not to not have blind faith in some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I think is a big part.
Don't let them have to learn it the hard way.
Yeah.
I recently went on a vacation, and part of that vacation had a little bus ride. And the bus was a nice bus. It had a Wi-Fi point for you to connect to. And so this person in front of me pulls out their laptop, joins on, then opens their password file. That's just a Word document. Proceeds to reset a password to their bank account, including setting it also had like their challenge words, like mother's maiden name and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
Nice.
and I'm just looking right at it, and I'm like, wow, this is the world we live in. And that's part of that. I think that is part of it. Like, when you grow up and you're aware of danger, but you're familiar with danger, I think you don't blindly trust everything around you, kind of thing. I think that's important. I think that it's good for kids to have that exposure, because if you just like what this person did, and this person was older than me, so it's like, but that you don't want your kids to grow up and do that. So,
No.
I felt it was one of those experiences, and I think that leads into it. It's like, you got to teach your kids that it is a scary world, and here's how we get around it.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of good people in the world. There are also some bad ones.
Thankfully.
Yeah. I mean, don't like, I mean, I grew up, my line is, I come from a long line of worriers, because it's like everything was like, oh, they're out to get you. They're out to get you. So I was like, head in the sand for most of my childhood, which I think probably makes me a pretty decent cybersecurity professional. But yeah, being like, having that knowledge and having that, it's like, oh no, not everybody's out to get me, but they could be. So, yeah.
Well, the government is.
Well, yeah, of course.
They're only out to get you if you want them.
So the presentations are very cool. Lots of great info there, and you see a lot of things happen real time. Like there's a lot of, and there's nobody. I mean, they're just like we were talking about. I'm sure there are a few people who were like, I'm gonna hack away, and this is Also, I gotta stop. Got to roll back for just a second. Like I use hackers as a very loving term. Like I consider myself a hacker, but I don't think it's a negative term. I think it's somebody who's just like a tinkerer or curious, anyways. But there's a lot of presentations where they show like some information that is, or some ways to do some things that are pretty scary, like pretty detrimental. But I will say that most of the talks prefaced everything by, we've reached out to this company or that company or whatever, and they're not listening. So this is the only way we're going to be heard. And then they proceed with it. There are a few who like will patch it pretty quick, and there are some that just ignore it and move on.
These are companies with your data and your livelihood depends on, kind of thing.
So one of the talks, and a lot of these, like, it's really cool to see this stuff happen live, but a lot of this stuff is recorded and available pretty quickly. Or if it is like really groundbreaking, or if it is something that needs to be, sent out and people need to be made aware of, it's usually available online. So don't feel like if you miss like Black Hat or DEFCON or something like that, if you just can't go or whatever, don't feel like you're missing out. The information is still there. But being able to see this live, being able to talk to the people who actually do this is such a cool experience. And I saw one presentation that was, so Windows Hello. It's the face recognition, like, biometrics replace your password type thing. Well, they called this Windows Hell No. And it's I think it was Batiste and Oswald were the two guys who presented it. Really, really cool guys. But basically what they did was they did the face recognition, left the computer unlocked. The other one went in, injected their own credentials into the face recognition chain. And then now they have access to their account. Like they're recognized as that user and can log in as them and everything. Another thing, and they didn't break this on stage because they don't have a whole lot of time to show things off. They did that live though, which was amazing. And their presentation was so good. Like they did a great job of being informative and entertaining. It's just a great talk. But also the password is also included in that whole chain process. So once you have access to that, now you can take the hash and go and, crack away somewhere else. So pretty scary stuff. And the fact that, I don't know if Microsoft fixed it by now. I honestly haven't kept up with it, but they were like, we reached out to them. They didn't listen. So here we are. But they did offer up ways. They're like, there are some cameras that are security focused, kind of like Windows 11 has, it requires the TPM chip or whatever to be able to upgrade. Some of the software processors that are out there, the processors that are in cameras, especially like the Intel cameras, have a little bit more like secure access that threads into the kernel OS and everything that kind of helps it. But just seeing that those kind of tools are available is pretty scary.
Yeah, and a lot of these companies are pushing more and more for these biometrics, and like, was it Apple stopped making phones that have the thumbprint reader, which wasn't great either. But now they're going more and more to like the Hello and face recognition and such, and that bothers me.
It's so
every year is the year that we're going to get rid of passwords, right?
Yeah. I know, like my oldest son, he's unlocked my phone with his face, and I've unlocked his with my face.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And it's so weird that we were so opposed to this like 5 years ago. Like we were like, no, people, like you can't record my face. I don't want to see my face on camera. I can't. And then Apple was like, yeah, we can do Face ID. And you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. We just accepted it. Oh yeah, whatever.
But we're doing away with this, and we're adding where it has to take a picture of your face, but the camera has 3 lenses.
It's one of the other things that I'd never attended before, but some of the people that I was with, they were like, oh, you gotta go, like it's amazing. And it's cold calls. And so what turned me off about it, so I did go to the AI Village, which I'll talk about that in a second. And I did go to like some of the phishing stuff and everything. I find that stuff fascinating because it's more of like a play on like just the human psychology, and it, like, I don't know. I like that kind of, I like those kind of things. So, but they were like, oh, you gotta go to cold calls. was like, I'm not going to go to cold calls because I instantly think vendors. And I'm like, no. And they're like, no, it's phishing. Like, it's a live phishing. Like, it's almost like a game. Like, everybody goes and they sit in the audience, and then there's a lucky person not from the audience. You do have to sign up for it, so don't worry. You're not going to get picked upon or anything like that. But people who signed up, they get called in up on the stage. They get all mic'd up. They go into a sound booth, and they make a live phone call to companies. It could be like Chipotle was one. There was a Toyota dealership. There was all these different companies that they were calling. Now, I'm pretty sure this was all and I haven't gone into the details. I haven't really researched much, but I'm pretty sure this was all like, they're not just randomly calling people and trying to vish them and actually engage. and I think they have maybe access to the reports or something like that afterwards. I don't know, but they do a really good job of, they're not non-disruptive attacks. So you get 3 challenges: easy, medium, hard. You can pick whichever one you want. Most people would just be like, I'll take all 3, and if I can get them, I can get them. But they're doing things like, how often do you take security awareness training? How often does your password rotate? They're not asking, they're not trying to compromise accounts or anything. So they're not doing anything that's really disruptive to the business, other than just, the person on the phone eating up their time. And they do a really good job of, the moderators who are working the panel and everything, they do a really good job of redacting all the information. Like, if somebody gives away a phone number, or somebody says, oh no, you need to call this person, they'll hit the buzzer, so you can't hear what they're saying. But that being said, people get into the booth, and we all sit and listen on this call and see if they can do their attack. So gotta give some props to AI. So you're only given 5 minutes to do this. Most of the time that people would call in, it would be an AI bot, and they would just struggle to try to get a human. And once it finally, the AI was like, well, we're calling, whatever, the manager, Bob, whatever, they wouldn't even pick up. So most of it was a flop. But whenever you do get one, oh man, it is the room lights up. It is such, so much energy there. There was one where this person was doing a great job. The rules, the unofficial rules that somebody said, I guess afterwards he was saying, he was like, somebody gave me this advice and it worked. Go into a call like you're seeing your cousin at a family reunion. You're kind of palsy with them, but you're not really chummy and trying to get information. You're just oh, hey, hey, it's been a while, whatever. So he went into this call, and he's getting everything. And then the last question, his hard question was, whenever you were hired, did you have to do your security training, or did you have to do security training? And this person was like, actually, today's my first day. And the room just erupted. And they're like, I haven't done security training, but I have a feeling I'm going to be doing some now. So one of the things that came out of that was AI, artificial intelligence. So the person calls up, and whenever they finally get a hold of a human, they go, this is, whatever, this is an automated audit from blah, blah, blah systems. Failure to comply with this audit will result in fines, penalties, blah, blah, blah. To accept this, please press 1. Boop. They give up everything. No questions.
It's oh crap, I got an audit.
Yeah. Well, it goes back into we trust AI so much that you're just oh, an AI is not going to be malicious. It's not going to. So anything that was asked, no hesitation, here's the information. It was crazy. And almost everybody who attempted that, I didn't watch all of them. I did go to 2 of them. I think they have them every day. I went to 2 of them, and anytime anybody tried the AAI technique, it always worked. Oh, almost always. There was a few that people were like, I just don't know the answer. But it was crazy. It was, yeah.
Oh wow, that's interesting. People trusting AI,
Yeah, because like the appeal to authority is what works in so many scams, right? You're getting an email from a CIO or whatever, but here the authority is the AI. Oh, this does not bode well for us.
No. Well, it goes back to, and I think we mentioned this in a previous podcast, is I think the trust with AI happens so quickly because, like, if you Google something, you're farting around on the internet for half an hour trying to find a decent answer and not a bunch of trolls. Like, you look through dozens of Reddit posts just trying to figure out how to, prevent your computer from blue screening because you installed something, and it's just misinformation everywhere. But you go to AI and you're like, I need help, and it's so definitive. It's like, do this. And you're like, okay, and time.
Well, it
works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do start to trust it. It's like,
yeah.
It's like back in the day, I would read on forums that talk about, I need to trying to get Xbox Live to work, and people would put all these ports up for it's like, open all of these and it'll work. And sure enough, it will work.
Oh, yeah.
That reminds me too, on this same instance when I was talking about where I was on a bus and this person was blindly giving away their life, they also used AI while on the bus to read through like a bunch of their personal documents.
What?
And ignoring it was ChatGPT, ChatGPT, and I was like, they tell you right in the bottom there that this is not private. They have a little warning. You have to acknowledge that you consent to give us and let us store this and all that, right?
Yeah.
If I remember right. Because there was recently an article I read about where people were getting a hold of their other people's AI strings or whatever and pulling up their old searches. So I was like, all of a sudden.
I think that was one of the things that was brought out at Black Hat.
Is that what? I wonder if that's it was an article you sent. I wonder if that was an article you sent out that I read that in. Because I was thinking of that. Wow, you upload a personal document, and all of a sudden someone can find that chain. Scary business.
Or the stuff that you trust. Like, I got this big spot on my butt. Like,
does this look any larger from the size?
I was actually pretty impressed with, because I think ChatGPT actually responded to that and closed it up pretty quickly, I think, if I recall right. Which, I mean...
Until the next time it gets let out.
Yeah.
But I mean...
Because they're not deleting it.
Right. How is there any expectation of privacy when you're feeding data to the data consuming machines?
Exactly. And another thing that I will say that AI has an advantage of over the internet is I don't have to put up with ads. I mean, I do pay for
Yeah.
ads.
oh, it's
And
for now.
For now, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, just wait until all of a sudden it's like, it's like, oh, I'm feeling a little dehydrated. What do I do? Well, you should drink a refreshing Coca-Cola. Like,
it's got what plants need.
See this Black Mirror episode.
And while we're on the topic of AI, the AI village was very, very interesting. So they had a bunch of booths set up for video, so they had photos, they had a place where you could change your voice, and it was pretty realistic. It wasn't real time. Like, there was a little bit of a lag because the processors had to go. And also, I mean, they had servers that were in, like, Apache cases or, Pelican cases or whatever. So, I mean, if you had a little bit more horsepower behind it, more GPU or whatever, I'm sure it'd be faster. But voice changes were real time. They sounded really good. Of course, they had a whole menu of voices, and I went right to Star Wars, and I was like, ooh, I want to be, Vader. I want to be Palpatine. I want to be Yoda. Like, they had a green screen set up, and you'd walk in front of you'd select who you want to look like, and you'd walk in front of the green screen, and all of a sudden you were Keanu Reeves or whatever. That was pretty crazy. But then they had, like, and this is what I love about conferences like this, is they're like, this is super scary. this is what we're doing to kind of fix that, because deepfakes are going to be like, they are a problem. It's going to get worse. So they're using AI technology to fight AI. So they had like a little game set up where they displayed a picture. You figured out if it was real or fake or not. And then they also had their AI detecting technology below. As soon as you gave your answer, it would tell its answer and how quickly it detected that it was, which it was like milliseconds, how quickly it detected it. And then a third option popped up to see whether it was fake or real. And we played for probably solid 10 minutes, maybe even longer. And the AI detecting bot was accurate. I would say 100% of the time. I don't think it ever missed one. Like, it was impressive. And there were some that were really, really well done. So it is nice to see that we're using the technology against itself, like a Blade Runner.
Yeah.
That reminds me. Of there was, I think, the PC Security channel. There was a video where he was talking about how soon it devolves into AI fighting AI. That AI red team versus AI blue team.
Whoever's got the most cores to throw at it.
Yeah. Well, I can't think of any other like really good story. Those were some of the highlights. There's a lot of great things to do there. A lot of fun stuff to do. Like I said, if there's something that you're even slightly interested in, go over and talk to people about it. Everybody's there to learn. Everybody's there to have fun. Like, if you get a chance, go do it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's something that is on my list that I'd like to do.
Nice. Yeah, and like I said, it's not.
Yeah, I'm definitely wanting to do.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's not something that it's not a big expense. Like, I mean, it's a travel. It's a lot of travel, and it's a lot of heat, and a lot of walking and everything. So there are some sacrifices, but it's definitely worth it.
Not heat, never mind.
It's hot. Man, is it hot. Like, the AC was struggling to keep up in the hotel room. And in the conference centers, like, whenever you get that many people in one place, and especially with that amount of heat, like, it was just hot everywhere, and you just couldn't escape it.
It's going to be a good catch-up episode.
Yeah, exactly. It's like whenever your favorite TV show is off the air for a little while, and then they have the hour-long special, and it's just Jason rambling for an hour, and you're like, oh, God. Well, I guess thanks for listening to me ramble. Stay tuned next time for more information, more stories, more fun, more booze, more A&W. And
surely some bolt-on AI.
Oh, yeah, and AI Tony. Don't forget about that.
AI Tony, what will he say next?
Nothing, apparently. All right.
Sorry, you're out of credit for the
day. Well, on that note, join us for the next episode. Until then, I'm Jason.
This has been
Jonathan.
And Tony.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.